Ready? Okay, if you would, Lana, call the roll, please.
Barry.
Here.
Brooks.
Here.
Frizzalone. Harris.
Here.
Markham.
Here.
Mustis. Ogella. Trainier. Van Dyne.
Here.
And Winfrey.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. Mr. Van Dyne, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we have the approval of minutes.
There are no minutes.
There were no minutes. Oh, okay, that makes it easy. No old business, starting right in with the new business. Prohibiting use of groundwater as potable water supply for the installation or use of potable water supply wells or any other method. And I believe Mr. Buck is here this morning in case there are questions.
I'll move. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay. Authorizing a programmatic agreement between the County of Will and the Illinois Historic Preservation Officer for the administration of Section 106 for certain programs funded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Move.
Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, granting a temporary access permit for the boulevard on Renwick Road for County Boards District 5 and 13.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Authorizing the county executive to execute an amendment to a countywide radio system tower site lease agreement. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Establishing the Lincoln and 394 Corridor Enterprise Zone subject to the Enterprise Zone Act with the State of Illinois.
Second.
Discussion?
I would like to ask Nick a little bit.
I saw Judy first and then,
I say, I think it would be worthwhile for Nick to maybe just talk a little bit about this. Who's going to talk about it?
Nick, he may be. This is the same agreement that we've had for a while. The only thing is that we've made a slight change in it. They've
Right.
updated it, so it requires us to issue a new one.
I
But
guess what I
specifically, what is
want-
your question?
I guess what I really want to know, maybe it's more for just general information, maybe for newer people, exactly what the enterprise zone does, what kind of real estate, what kind of tax breaks they get. There's various breaks they can get, just to give me some general information. But, I can ask this at the county board meeting too. So, I mean, it's,
Okay, or if I have Colin or David, okay. If you would speak to that, if you would use the podium, please. And then maybe 6 to David, since they're tied together.
Yeah, I can't answer all the details on this topic. I will say is Colin's been working on this and with Nick, and the renewal of this is basically to address statutory changes with regarding, I think it has like minority-owned businesses, things of that nature that are required now by state law. So that's really the purpose of this. So, but I know that I can have Colin available at the next meeting, coordinate with Nick to answer any questions he may have. So.
the other question I would have is, we're extending this enterprise zone, and changing some, maybe it's more for technical or to come more into compliance. But I'd just like to know, how successful has this enterprise zone been?
Mm-hmm.
How much participation have we had? To continue something that maybe is not being successful, I'd like to know why we should be doing that and why maybe perhaps it's not being successful. This bumps up to the state of Indiana, so I do think very often we need these kind of enterprise zones. But I also know on occasion, these TIFs and enterprise zones have devastated the tax base for some communities. And this is why when you look at like University Park, they have the highest tax rate, real estate tax rates in the state of Illinois, and maybe one of the highest in the country, due to the fact they tipped everything from the schools, and now the schools aren't getting any revenue. So even though these enterprise zones and these TIF districts can promote business, they've also devastated and put an undue tax burden on the homeowner, having their real estate taxes escalate to a point that it's unaffordable for them. So this idea that we're going to help business at the expense of hardworking people, homeowners, makes me question whether do we need to continue some of these areas. So that's the other one of my concerns, Denise.
Okay.
Especially in that part of the county, if you're familiar with it. And I'm not going to speak for, Judy's, that's Judy's district. But I'm telling you, if you take the time to look and see how some of this has affected their tax base and tax rates, you might give some pause, because they're paying the price.
David, did you have anything
No, I
you wanted to add to that? Jackie?
I was looking at the language of the enterprise zone this morning, and I will be honest, I didn't get all the way through the document, but the beginning parts that I did read talked mostly about abating sales tax for the purchase of things that you would need to rehab or build a building. There was a lot of sales tax listed. I didn't get so far as to maybe see if real estate tax was also abated by this. And I guess that was my first question. And my second question, it's talked about a 0.5 percentage point credit or tax refund or something of that nature. So I didn't quite catch, maybe that was it. Maybe that was the property tax part. They get a 0.5 percentage point back. I don't know. So I'd just like a little more clear explanation of what that tax part is, because I'm really questioning abating taxes for some of the same reasons Mr. Moose just talked about, the tax burden that it puts on the rest of us. I think what the state did with veterans, and mind you, my husband's a 23-year Navy veteran. My daughter was a 100% disabled veteran who served in the Iraq War. And I don't believe giving every veteran a tax break on their property tax was the right way to go. And we could talk more about the rest of my veterans in my family that can certainly afford to pay their property tax. So, but anyway, I digress. Go ahead, if you can answer.
I will relay this to Colin and Nick, and then we'll be prepared to answer questions.
Right, and the two people who could best answer this are not available this morning. As you know, Nick is at CMAP this morning, and Colin is not here. So what we can do is arrange for both of them to be present at the board meeting so that people can get a better understanding of what's involved here.
Yeah, because I'll vote yes to pass it along, but I'm not certain I'd be a yes at the full board.
Judy?
So yeah, the enterprise zone mostly is sales tax. And so for the portion of this enterprise zone in Will County, because the majority of it's in Cook County, if you look at the Cook County portion, that is a non-thriving area. I don't know what's gonna generate stuff up in there. In the Will County portion, especially in Crete and Beecher, we do have a couple of companies that are looking to expand, and they are big employers out that way. So I would think that people would be in favor of that. So I think it's something to look at. And it would be interesting to know, what benefit has this brought to the areas? What do we see as a benefit? Because if it's just a negative and they're not paying sales tax, then what is the benefit to that? And what's the benefit to the businesses? How much are they actually able to save? Because this is an enterprise zone that's different than the TIF, so we would like that information.
I've just seen Colin Doosan come in. I'll give him a minute, and if you would come down, please.
He was coming for the next meeting. Content is the purpose and the effectiveness.
And if you would,
All right.
Colin, 5 and 6, because they're both tied to the Lincoln Enterprise Zone, if you would.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't have the agenda in front of me, but that's okay. The enterprise zone for the Lincoln 394 is being reapplied for. It is going to be The certificate is ending in 2022, and they would like to get it done prior to that. So what they're doing, oh, thank you, is applying for it now, so it goes through the 2020 cycle, and if it doesn't go through in the 2020 cycle, they'll have the 2021 cycle to go through it again. The, excuse me, stairs. The reason, the only change, there are two changes. One is to the legal description. There is a portion that is currently residential in Olympia Fields that is being removed. The other change, which is a little bit more significant, theoretically, only on paper, is that by state statute, there has to be an inclusion regarding a policy endorsing minority-owned, women-owned, and disabled-owned businesses. And that's being included in both the intergovernmental agreement and the ordinance that being proposed. Otherwise, there are no substantive changes. Just some grammatical ones, but no substantive ones.
Okay. Other questions? Mike and then Judy.
Mr. Collins, in the portion that's Will County, have we had any business come into that enterprise zone?
In that enterprise zone, no. It's less than 100 acres. And if there was one, it would probably be annexed into whatever nearby community it's residing.
Okay.
So we have to do this because we're in Will County. The enterprise is in Will County. It's just a governmental step that we have to take for the enterprise zone.
Judy?
So the portion of Olympia Fields, which was residential, I don't even know why it was ever in there, but
Right.
Does that have to be replaced by something else?
No, it does not.
It does not, all right. And can you, I don't know if you were in the room when we asked, but can you look in to see, in the Will County portion, what has been the benefit for those areas for it? Because I know there's a company that's looking to expand, to build new, which would be creating new jobs, which would benefit from it. But what is the benefit to the residents of Will County? Because we'd like to know that.
It's been increasing, particularly in Crete, job opportunities and construction opportunities.
Yeah, that's what I've seen, so.
So that's what it's been doing for Will County. Will County residents.
Not doing anything in Beecher, but I know it's doing something in Crete.
Correct.
All right, thanks.
All right, I'm trying to think, did Beecher have anything? I don't remember Beecher mentioning anything, but they probably have. So.
Well, I know that there's a company that's in both Beecher and Crete, and they're looking to expand both of their facilities, so
And then
that would be a benefit to them.
Right, exactly.
Thank you.
Other questions? Julie?
Thank you. Colin, how many jobs have they created, and do they live in Will County, and what is the salary range?
I don't know about the salary range, and I don't know about where the labor force resides, but part of the report that's going to the state has the number of jobs being created within the enterprise zone. Yeah. So yes, there have been jobs being created. I'm sorry?
You say primarily construction?
Well, with the construction jobs, there's also permanent jobs.
Well, we know the construction jobs are good paying jobs.
But I mean, when they construct, they're constructing for a business to employ additional people.
Other questions? Mr. Brooks?
What is the concern here? I'm not quite understanding. And in District 1, of course, that's a little far from me. So I'm not quite understanding what is the disconnect. Is it not working out there? Or, I mean, what's the concern here?
The concern is that the enterprise zone certificate is going to lapse in 2022, and they would like to keep it going beyond 2022, but they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket for the 2022 approval
But am I
cycle.
hearing, Colin, that it's not working? Is that?
No. It's working. It's working well. They just don't want to end it.
Oh. Is that true, Judy? Okay,
So what I was saying, Herb, is if you go to the Cook County portion of this, it's a pretty depressed area, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And I have not seen a lot of growth, so I don't know that there's been a lot of new development there. I go to
Okay.
Stager a lot. Stager's on both Cook
Okay.
and Will, and I haven't seen a lot of new things pop up there. And then it's
Okay.
Fort Heights and Chicago Heights.
Right, no.
I've seen a lot of businesses close rather than continue.
Yeah.
And I mean, we used to,
Yeah,
my husband used to work in there.
It is working on the Cook County side. They are attracting
Okay.
businesses as well.
okay.
So could we have like a list of them,
Okay.
so we could get some information to see what it's doing as a positive? Is that even possible?
Oh, yeah, yes. we can-
Okay,
yeah.
that would be good, and I know my side, I know one is Dutch American Foods, they're expanding.
Right.
They're a big employer down there, and so it's definitely a positive from my area with that.
And so this vote would be moving to the board, is that right?
This will
Okay.
move from here to the full
To the
board.
full board, okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, I
Okay.
can get that information to you
All
easily
right,
enough.
thank you.
So we have a motion and a second. Further questions on 5? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, tied to that.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, I'm going to ask for a motion to table that needs some further work.
Move to table.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Number 8, authorizing county executive to renew professional services contract with administrative adjudication hearing officer Kelly Gandersky. All in favor? Discussion? Any opposed? All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, number 9, renewing computer printer remanufactured and new toner cartridges.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Awarding contract for security guard services.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Replacement hires for 911.
Move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Replacement hire for the county executive maintenance department.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Replacement hire for animal control.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Or any opposed? None. Motion carries. Replacement hires for Sunny Hill Nursing Home. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Authorizing Will County to provide contribution to the homeless strategic plan.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Declaring a vacancy in District 1. This is the position previously held by Lori Summers.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Authorizing a letter of support for the 12-year extension of the Joliet City Center TIF District.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Proclamations. I believe we have a couple. One is recognizing the Mike Hennessy's 30-year service anniversary with United Way. And then we have recognizing October's National Energy Awareness Month. Okay. Then we also will have a presentation from Plainfield High School students for the effect of public transportation on future generations, and I believe this is from their special ed area. Okay. We have appointments by the county executive. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, no other new business. Okay. We don't- Question, Jim?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a mention. I probably should have done it when we were at the TIF for Joliet. But I would like to, I would like to see before the board meeting, the taxing bodies that are participating in the TIF. I mean,
Okay.
You know, because taxing bodies can opt out. I'd like to see who is participating in the current TIF, that's all.
Yeah.
So if they can have that
And we can have
information.
that. And
Yeah.
earlier this morning, I had a City Center Partnership meeting. Steve Jones was there and did go through that, so we'll have them
Yeah.
provide the list.
Okay, great, thanks.
Other questions before we move into the committees? Okay. Okay, Land Use and Development, Mr. Markham? Nothing special? Okay. Finance, Mr. Brooks? Or not, sorry.
Brooks.
Mr. Harris, sorry.
Brooks, I think, you know?
Mr. Harris?
We had a finance meeting scheduled for next week, the 15th, but we're not going to pursue that one. That one will be canceled. We should have enough time to talk about stuff like budget at our regular meeting on November 5th and before the board meeting. So the October 15th, if you had it on your calendar, is going to be canceled. Correct.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Public Works and Transportation, Mr. Van Dyne.
Nothing special.
Okay. You have some cases up? Anything unusual? Okay. All right. Judicial.
We did not meet. Nothing.
Okay. Public Health and Safety.
Beth Rice, where's she? She's not. Oh, she had to go.
Okay. Looks like, yeah, there'll be a public hearing on the treatment disposal and ordinance, then that's it. Okay. Legislative and policy.
We just asked that a letter be put together in support of something.
Oh, the insulin.
The insulin bill, 622, Senate bill. I think being sponsored by Laura Ellman, or at least she's certainly in support of it. And it was capping, oh, she's not? Oh. It was capping the costs of insulin at $100 a month. And I was talking to people just yesterday. I was at a college, COD, giving a presentation, and there was a young man there who bought insulin for his animal. And for his animal, it was $600 a month. And I know that frequently veterinarian prescriptions are even a little bit cheaper than human ones. So yeah, we're very much in support of capping that.
Please, if I could just make a comment, even though I didn't make a comment legislative.
No, you were quiet as a mouse.
I was very quiet, but
Didn't know
I
you
want
were
to say this, as someone who is diabetic, and someone who does take insulin, it's often been, kind of baffling to me why we don't supply insulin to all diabetics.
Free.
Basically free because of the cost in other areas on the medical cost.
Impact on
When this
insurance.
is something that's very controllable, to keep people healthy, why we would be cheap in this. And it's the one thing we should be supporting. So I'm really 100% behind this, not only for the diabetic, but because it does save dollars in the long run. So we should be behind this, and if you can talk to your legislators, you should mention it to them, as I'm going to. That's it. Thanks, Denise.
Thank you. Okay. Capital improvements, Mr. Brooks?
I have nothing. Nothing.
Okay, thank you. Nothing to bring forward additional? Thank you. Okay. You've just had Executive Committee public comments. We have some public here, not that much. Public comments. We do need an executive session today, actually, we have a personnel issue and then some probable litigation. I have no other things to bring forward, so we need approval.
Let's hold off because we need that after.
Oh, we have a motion to move the well path
Yeah,
amendments
so-
to the full county board.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that
I'm
would
sorry,
be
what was it?
I was just asking you on approval of the county board agenda
After, motion to move, and we need,
I'll move to go into executive session for the purpose of litigation.
Probable litigation and also personnel.
okay, if you would call the roll, please. Ferry?
Yes.
Brooks? Frizzalone? Harris?
Yes.
Markham?
Eustace?
Yes.
Pagella? Yes. Trainier? Yes. Van Dyne?
Yes.
And Winfrey, you are in executive session.
Thank you.